Mr. Greedy, father to many African penguins at Maryland Zoo, dies at 33. We begin with humble request to subscribe to our YouTube channel Save Wildlife and follow us on Facebook and TikTok to support our initiative on wildlife. This story was written by Hank Sanders in the New York Times and brought to you by Professor Salim, who is an ecologist. Mr. Greedy, father to many African penguins at Maryland Zoo, dies at 33. An African penguin who left many offspring in his long life. He belonged to the largest colony of the aquatic bird species in North America, according to the zoo. The popular African penguin known as Mr. Greedy, a fixture of the Maryland Zoo who had sired many offspring and left an astounding 230 descendants over 5 generations, has died after an age-related decline in his health. The zoo said in a statement, he was 33, yes, in human years. The zoo said it had no accurate way to determine the equivalent in penguin years. He was the oldest penguin in his colony, which the zoo said is the largest in North America. When he was not busy reproducing or bringing joy to zoo visitors, Mr. Greedy swam hard, took care of his mate, nicknamed Ms. Greedy, and was constantly looking for things to steal. His mischievous ability to steal nesting materials and food from others had earned him the affectionate nickname by which he was known. Jen Katayan, the bird curator at the zoo, said in a phone interview on Saturday, Mr. Greedy, born in 1991, had a more official, though less personable name, African penguin number 821. The cause of death was euthanasia on August 27, the zoo said. In his long life, Mr. Greedy made a tremendous contribution to his endangered species, said the statement from the Maryland Zoo, which is in Baltimore. This one bird was incredibly important to the continued existence of African penguins throughout the world, Ms. Katayan said in the statement. Mike Evitz, a spokesman for the Maryland Zoo, said there is not a definitive number for the total descendants that are expected from a single African penguin, but that Mr. Greedy's tally is way more than average. Found near islands off the southwestern coast of Africa and on land near Cape Town, South Africa. African penguins can dive more than 400 feet underwater and can stay below the surface for 2 to 3 minutes at a time, according to Aquarium of the Pacific, a marine life conservation group and aquarium in Long Beach, Calif. The penguins are less than 2.5 feet tall and are also known as jackass penguins, because their raucous squawks sound like the braying of a donkey, the conservation group said. Over the past 20 years, the global population of African penguins has decreased by 75%, a decline that has come in part because of a scarcity of prey fish such as sardines and anchovies. According to the Association of Zoos and Aquariums African Penguin Species Survival Plan, which helped determine whether Mr. and Ms. Greedy were a successful match for reproduction, there is a real chance the birds will become extinct within 10 years, the zoo said. If the population continues to decline, and if zoologists are able to reduce some of the effects of climate change and overfishing, Mr. Greedy's descendants will be a vital part of regrowing the species population in Africa, Ms. Katayan said. Mr. Greedy is survived by his lifelong mate, penguin number 832, known as Ms. Greedy. She is now the oldest penguin at the zoo. Both birds hatched on the same year, arrived at the zoo in 1992 and have been paired together since 1994. The average life expectancy of an African penguin is about 18 years, making Mr. and Ms. Greedy a remarkable duo, the zoo said. Ms. Katayan said that visitors got to know the pair because their remarkable longevity and reproduction abilities were a topic at feeding time. The Greedys were also partners in crime, since she had joined him in stealing nesting materials and food from others. When news of the beloved penguin's death broke, many community members said they were concerned about Ms. Greedy's well-being. Ms. Katayan said, the zoo will monitor Ms. Greedy's behavior and, if she is interested, may find her another male companion. Zoos and aquariums, Ms. Katayan acknowledged, are sometimes criticized for keeping animals in captivity, but Mr. Greedy's life exemplifies the important role these places can play, she said. He educated people about his species, she said, and his descendants could be an integral part of its revival in the coming decades. Thanks for following us on YouTube and for following us on Facebook and TikTok.